Hiya, good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or whatever. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode, Medieval Spain Part 1. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together. It was interesting. It was nice to look back at that trip and relive the good times I had over there. Yeah, touch wood. Let's hope I can get over there again pretty soon and do some more of that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it this week. Guess what? Medieval Spain Part 2. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, thumbs up, subscription, all that good stuff. Yeah, sit back, enjoy. Thanks guys. Say yes. I tend to take it nice and gently when I arrive somewhere that I have never been before. I can read Spanish and speak a little bit of Spanish, but I am not fluent by any stretch of the imagination. So take it nice and easy, read the signs so you don't end up going the wrong way up one-way streets. So a bike park there, so I'm parking there as well. So this is the Parador Sos del Rey Católico. Sos del Rey Católico is a beautiful place. It's the birthplace of King Ferdinand II, of Ferdinand and Isabella fame. It wasn't easy riding my bike around the streets of Santo Domingo. It would be even more difficult to ride them around these streets in Sos del Rey, wouldn't it? But if you look to this side, it's a beautiful view of the tower. Turn around, look to the other side, and you get a lovely panoramic view of the plains. Once again, after a lovely day of sightseeing and riding, a little bite to eat and an early night ready for the morning. The next morning the sun's shining again and the air's nice and fresh on the top of this hill. A beautiful start to what I'm sure is going to be a beautiful day. Today's ride is going to be from Sos del Rey Católico in Oregon, across the border into Castilla y Leon to a place called Lerma. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this ride. Once again, the usual stop, foot down, take your time, gather your thoughts, and let's get ready for the ride. Look up to the left here and say goodbye to Sos del Rey Católico. Riding through the picturesque Spanish villages on the tourist route's really nice, but I also enjoy riding through ordinary, normal Spanish towns. It looks like I was the most exciting thing to go through the town that morning. But to be fair, I did give them a wave, and you can't see, but they did wave back. Here's another good example of that runoff from the fields we were talking about earlier. You can see the fields on the right hand side. You can see where the rain has washed this red soil off onto the main road. I did smile as I was riding along here because I was thinking to myself, all of these fields and all of that runoff, but I've not seen anybody working in the fields at all yet. There he is, there's the man. As we approach Lerma, it just looks like an ordinary modern day Spanish town. but it actually dates back as far as the Iron Age. There's been Iron Age finds here, and as well Iron Age finds here. It's also been occupied by the Romans and the Visigoths and the Berbers. And then in the 10th century it was taken from the Moors during the Reconquista. This is the plaza in Lerma, and to the right there, that is the Parador. It was a palace, what's known as a ducal palace. It was a palace built in 1601 by the Duke Francisco Gomez de Sandoval y Rojas. He was the Duke of Lerma. He also had this monastery built, which is next door to the ducal palace. I just had time for a quick drink and then something to eat in this fantastic restaurant inside the Parador. And then the weather changed a little bit. It poured down, there was thunder and lightning, but I'll tell you what, it made for an absolutely fantastic sunset. The next morning arrived all too soon, and it was time to head south from Lerma to a place called Avila. Remember what I was saying earlier about the people usually wave back at me when I wave at them? Check this guy out on the left hand side here. Morning! And then the usual at the stop sign. Foot down, take your bearings, figure out where you're going, and watch out for the guys on the right hand side. You might be on your holidays, but these guys are working. When you come across a part of the road that narrows and there's only room for one vehicle, who's got right of way? Well, there may be arrows telling you who's got right of way, but you're on a motorbike, so you don't argue with big trucks. And eventually we leave Lerma via the bridge to the south of the town. Goodbye Lerma, it's been a blast. Hope to see you again soon. Look at that sky. It really didn't take long for the temperature to rise. It got warmer and warmer. Luckily enough, the roads were really clear and there was some beautiful scenery to look at as I rode along. But before too long, I was ready to park up, to stretch my legs a bit and to have a drink of water that had warmed up nicely in the pannier of the bike. The battery on this camera usually lasts quite a long time. That is, until you forget to turn it off. Who had a brain fade then? Yep, I had a brain fade. I can't remember what this place was called, but it was beautiful. There was people rock climbing and such like. Lovely mountainous area, really quite cool and green. And then we hit the plains. Plains were hot, 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 and the road was straight and pretty quiet. Spain is such a big and diverse country that, like you see, you can go from 1 minute riding in the mountains to the next minute riding across the Spanish plains. I love it. Look at that, there's not a car in sight, man. stopped for a while, checked the map, and I ended up on this road. This is how they irrigate those big, dry Spanish plains. Look at this. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Those big haulie tourists don't have to stay on the interstates, you know.